Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Yes, I have a loom design by Artisan Loom. This is the Red Scorpion and she created this January 2015, or that's actually when this particular one was posted. Because it is 4th of July, I am going to go ahead and make this in red, white, and blue. If you have not been on her Instagram account, hop on over and give her a follow. She has been busy with bath bombs and hasn't done much looming, but I asked her if I could do one of her smaller designs and she said yes, so that made me very happy. She has quite a few bracelets on here. I mean, I can't even count how many bracelets she has on here. So if you go over to her account and you actually see what she has on there, most of the things she has right now, I'm scrolling down, let me get that out of the way so I can scroll over here. She has a lot of bath bombs on here because she's been creating bath bombs and they are absolutely gorgeous. So if you scroll down past the bath bombs, you will find her loom bracelets, and that is Artisan Loom on Instagram. She is also Artisan Loom on YouTube, and she has quite a few of her bracelets on there already. But these are some of her older designs, or this particular one is an older design. And since she has been busy, I did, like I said, ask that she let me make one and to go with my 4th of July nails. Okay, so I'm going to grab all my supplies and I will be back. But before I get started, oh goodness, truck going past my window. This is a 4-pin bar design. This is the loom setup, 2 across and then 1 up on each side. Make sure that your openings are facing away from you and that your arrows are also pointing away from you. I am using 2 loom links for this. I'm going to make a full bracelet. You could just use 1 and add the extension on it if you'd like, but I chose to do 2. So I will be back with you as soon as I gather my supplies. Alrighty, so I have beaded, I'm doing white up the center, so I've done red and blue beads on my white. On the border, I'm putting beads up every other one. And I chose to use the white from the Yin and Yang pack, the red from the gemstone pack, and also the blue from the gemstone pack. Excuse me. So the first thing we want to do is we want to lay our border. And I have decided to use red for my border. So what we're going to do is just lay a band right across these 2 right here. And then your regular border, this will go up to here, diagonal straight up, and then I will add I'm going to have to use my hook for this, and then I will add a bead. And you don't have to put beads on this, of course, if you don't want to. If you don't put beads up the center, it might be a little bit longer than normal. Okay, so let's go over to the other side. We'll go out to the left and make sure you push your bands down straight up. Sorry, it's warm here, so my hands are a little slippery. I'm going to use my hook again, and I will go straight up with this bead. Okay, so straight up, finish up your border. Like I said, I'm using the beads, so every other one has beads on it. When you get to the top, let's back up here. Back, there we go. I've decided to stop. 1, 2, 3, it will be 4 on the left hand side and 4 on the right hand side. So it will be 3 down from here. So you'll take your border up, you'll bring this one in and this one in, and then put a band across here. Yes, definitely. All right, so finish that up, and I will be back with you after I finish mine, and we'll go to the next step. Okay, so when I got to the top, what you want to do is you want to leave these open, because once we're finished laying everything, we're going to do a double cap band here and stretch it across these 2 pins. Okay, so this is what your loom should look like. Okay, so the next step, I've chosen to put blue in this, white in the center, and I'm going to do blue on the ends here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a zigzag first pin out to the right, next pin, yeah, first pin, first band, then to the left, to the right, and then to the left. And you want to do that all the way up to the end of your loom. And we're going to do the exact opposite on the other side. Excuse me. Starting here, you'll bring it to the left, and where did my bands go? There they are. To the right, to the left, and then to the right. Okay, so finish that up on both sides all the way to the end of your loom. I will finish mine, and then I will be back with you for the next step. Okay, so this is what your loom should look like. Now when we get to the top here, let me show you. There we go. Get to the top here. We're going to leave this open because we're going to actually put a double cap band here and stretch it across. Alrighty, so that ringtone, Sweet Cherry Bomb, was Artisan Loom. So she was calling me, so sorry about that. I told her I was working on her tutorial, so she was quite happy. Anyway, so what we're going to do where I left off is that we're going to, once we get everything on here, we're actually going to put a double cap band on this, and then it's going to stretch across. Okay, so this is what your loom should look like. Even though I may have already showed you, I just don't remember. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm doing white up the middle, and I'm alternating my beads. Excuse me. And I changed out my beads for this red because it was a truer red. So what we're going to do is we're going to start your third pin bar, first pin, diagonal to the left, and then straight up. And then I'm going to take a beaded band and put it diagonal to the right. And I'm going to use my hook for this. Okay. Then we are going to go, I'm bringing this down, we're going to go straight up, and I'm alternating my bead colors. Okay, so now I'm going to put a blue on here. And that will go to the left diagonally. Okay, and then plain band straight up. And then I will use my red and take that diagonally to the right. I've got that one on. Okay, so you're going to repeat that pattern all the way up. You'll have diagonal, straight up, diagonal, straight up, diagonal, straight up, diagonal, and then straight up all the way to the end of your loom. And I will be back with you. And like I said, I am alternating my beads. You can use the same colors if you want or not. All right, be right back. So I finished laying my beads in this last one here. I don't want a bead on my wrist, so I left this open with no bead on it. And this is what your loom should look like. Okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to do the exact same thing with no beads this time. All right? So we're going to start over here, second pin bar. We're going to cross over, straight up, cross over, diagonal to the left, straight up. Give me just a second here. Straight up, cross over to the right, and straight up. And you'll do that all the way to the end of your loom, and then I will be back with you when I finish mine. So again, we're starting second pin bar, first pin, diagonal to the right, straight up, diagonal to the left, straight up, diagonal to the right, straight up, and then so on and so forth. And I will be back with you when I'm done with it. Okay, so this is what your loom looks like. I stopped at the top here, diagonal right to there. Okay, loom looks like this. Now we're going to basically do the same thing, but this time we're going to start right here. Couple of things. We need to make sure that these are connected or your bracelet will fall apart, and we don't want a big hole here, so there's going to end up being an X here. So let me show you what we do. All right, so second pin bar, first pin, straight up, diagonal to the right, straight up, diagonal to the right, where you left off. Right here we'll go straight up, and diagonal to the right. And you want to finish that all the way up your loom. Okay, I'm going to show you the next step, because after this we will be looming. Make sure that you push your bands down. All right, so recap on that in case it gets a little confusing. I'm using the same color, so it makes it a little more difficult. Second pin bar, first pin, straight up, diagonal right, straight up, diagonal left, straight up, diagonal right, all the way to the end of the loom. When you're finished with that, you can pause me if you need to. I'm going to show you the other side. Third pin bar, you're going to go straight up, diagonal to the left. And what that does, if you take a look here, is that puts an X where there was none. Like, well, you're not going to see it because I've got that up there, but it puts an X where there was none. So, right hand side, third pin bar, straight up, diagonal to the right. I like to put my finger where I left off. Straight up, diagonal to the right, which will make that X right there. Okay, straight up, and then diagonal to the right. Okay, I'm going to go off and finish mine, and then I will be back with you. But I hope you're understanding what I'm talking about here. If we don't have something connecting these, there's going to be a big gap, possibility of your bracelet falling apart. If we don't have these connected here, there will be no continuity, and again, there's the possibility of your bracelet falling apart. So rewind if you have to, and I will be back when I'm back, and I finished up here. You want to make sure that you have this straight band that goes straight up, or it will be underneath. So you have to have this connecting here. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and I'm going to flip her around, and we're going to put the cap band on. I'm not sure if this needs cap bands yet. I think it might, but I'll worry about that in a minute when we get to that part of it. Okay, so what I'm going to do with the second pin bar here, first pin, I'm going to put a double cap band right there, or a cap band, and then I'm going to take it and I'm going to bring it across to this pin. Okay, so we're going to start a third pin bar, first pin, we're going to bring this straight up, and we're going to just follow that pattern that we just laid. So straight up, go in, be diagonal, okay, straight up, reach in there and go diagonal to the right, and then you will go straight up, and then diagonal to the left, and you'll finish that side all the way up to the end of your loom. And then I'm going to go ahead and go through the next step now, so you can pause me if you need to. Once you finish that, you will come back down, you will go into the second pin bar and grab the band that goes straight up. Okay, then you will go diagonal to the right, straight up, and then diagonal to the left. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be just following that second pattern that you laid. Okay, and then straight up. So follow that pattern all the way to the end. Rewind if you have to, and I will be back with you when I finish mine. Okay, so I'm at the end. This was the side that I did last. So let's go over here. So I did diagonal straight up, and over here I went diagonal straight up, and this is what your loom should look like. Okay, we're going to do basically the same thing with the bands that are underneath this. So the one that is on top, and you're going to be grabbing the ones that are on top, is the one that's on the right hand side here on your third pin bar. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in, we're going to grab that band and loop it to the left. So you're basically bringing these all back to themselves. So we'll go into that same pin. One that's on top is the white one that goes straight up. Reach in there, grab the next one, and that will be the white one that is, for me, diagonal to the right. Just make sure you don't lose your space, okay? Like I said, I'll point to them because I don't want to forget where I am. So then straight up, and then diagonal to the left. And you'll do that all the way to the end of your loom until you're finished with that side. and you will come back down, and we will have these left to do. So I'm going to do a couple of those for you. So you can pause, rewind if you have to. Go in, diagonal to the right. Next one that's on top will go straight up. Reach in through all of those bands, grab the next one that's on top, which should be the diagonal that goes to the left. And you want to put that, well, come on, I'm going to put that back on. Go into that same pin, grab the one that goes straight up, bring it back to itself. Again, same pin. And it will be this one right here, this diagonal that's in here underneath everything. You'll grab that and bring that back to itself. And follow that pattern all the way up to the end of the loom. Rewind if you have to. And then we'll be back. I think we've got 2 more steps after this and we're done. Okay, so I'm back and everything is done. I have checked the sides and I don't think I missed anything on there. You just have to be careful when you're doing these center bands here that you don't lose your spot. Okay, so you want to do one side at a time. One side all the way up, the next side all the way up, come back down, do one side all the way up, and then the next side all the way up. That way you don't lose where you are. Okay, so now we're going to work on these zigzags here. Going to start second pin bar, and everything just goes back to itself. So you reach in, grab the one that's on top, bring it back to itself, go into that same pin, bring it back, go up to the next one, grab the one that's on top, bring it back to itself, go in, grab the next one, and bring it back to itself. I'll do that one more time. Going to go in here, through all of those bands, make sure you go through everything that's on there, and bring it back to itself. This diagonal will reach in, and it will also come back to itself. You want to do that all the way up to the end of your loom, and I'll show you on the other side. We're doing the exact same thing. Third pin bar, second pin, reach in, grab the one that's on top, which should be the diagonal that goes down to the right. Okay, last one on there goes up and to the right, and all of this will be from the second pin bar. You reach in and grab the next one that is on top and just bring it back to itself. Reach in, diagonal up to the right. Reach in, should be the diagonal that is down and to the right. Make sure you go through all those bands. Go in, diagonal that goes up and to the right. So you want to finish that out all the way to the end of your loom. And then I'm going to go ahead and start this. We'll reach in here. I will grab this border band, bring it back to itself. I'll go in and do the one on the other side too, and bring it back. You'll reach in through everything and grab, well, I just broke a band, so I'll have to fix that. But you're going through, start on the other side, grab it carefully, and bring it back up to itself. Go in and just loop up your border bands the way they're supposed to be, all the way to the end. When you get to the end, I will be back with you. I'm going to go off, I'm going to fix this, and when I come back I will probably have most of this off of here to the very end, and then I'll show you what I've done. Alrighty, so I have done all of my zigzags back to themselves, and I finished up my border and I stopped right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in through everything and grab that cross band. Okay, I'm going to leave that on there. I'm going to reach in through everything over here, and let me make sure, whoops, I missed one. Sorry if my hands are in the way. Let's see, let's try this again. And go through everything and grab that other cross band. Okay? Make sure that you have everything on there, and I do. And if you remember, I don't like C-clips, so I'm going to use my little plastic safety pin I have here that I got from, I think it was Joann's. And I'm going to attach that, and that is nice and secure, so it is not going anywhere. Okay? I used all LE in this, so it's a little tight, and it might be a little small. So very carefully take all of your bands off on the side. I do that to release tension. Okay, just like that. Well, let go. I'm going to go over to the other side. I've already taken the bottom part off. Okay, going to finish taking this off of here. I have straightened some of the beads already, but we will have the beads that or the bands that I'm taking off now. I don't have to straighten the bands because my bands are all LE. So that's what's going to make this tight, is using the LE bands. If you use 600, you might want to bring your bracelet down a little bit. I, of course, will stretch this and then measure it when I'm finished taking everything off of here. Okay, down to the home stretch. Very carefully take that off there. I don't want anything breaking. And there we go. Oh, yeah, that thing came apart. Let me just hook it back together. Okay. Now let's see what we have here. Oh, put that down. I think it turned out really cute for red, white, and blue. Let's check the size. I like to use the magnetic clasps, so this will be perfect for me. And if you have a smaller wrist, it should be okay for you too. You might want to take it all the way to the top. Like I said, if you're using 600 band count bands, you might want to take it where we took it in this tutorial, or even down a little bit to make sure that it will fit your wrist. Look how cute that is, though. I'm very happy with the way that this turned out. And I had smaller beads and larger beads. So, what do you think? What do you think? So this is the Red Scorpion by Artisan Loom. And yeah, I'm going to straighten the rest of my beads. You can see I've straightened down here already. So everything looks pretty good. And then when I get to the bottom, the part that I just took off, I still have beads to straighten here. And I do love to use the cylindric because you don't have to straighten any bands. That way I'm just straightening beads. All right. So thank you so very much, and they match my fingers. Look at that, they match my nails. So thank you so very much for hopping over to my channel and watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little bit. Have a wonderful 4th of July 2017. Subscribe to my channel if you wish. I will be having more tutorials for loom bands. It's just right now I am so caught up with doing things for the house, and we've sold our house and we're buying another one in Yuma, so my time is limited. Like, these bracelets will take me, especially a tutorial will take me, you know, several hours to do at one time. So and I don't like to break them up, so I like to sit and do the whole tutorial, because I also loom, you know, once I finish each section, I have to finish it up. Okay, so thank you so very much for liking. Subscribe if you wish. Thank you so very much for liking. Oh my gosh, it's been a blooper kind of day. You have no idea. Oh my gosh, and I can't even talk. But anyway, you have no idea how many times I've had to redo a few of these sections. Anyway, let's see if I can get back on track. Thank you so much for joining my tutorial. If you enjoyed this, then please like if you wish, subscribe if you wish, and you can share it if you wish also. But the main thing, have a wonderful 4th of July, and as always, be kind.